anyway, hi guys, how y'all doing? It's me again. Today, I just want to tell you guys a little bit about me. So, not like story time. Story time is not one particular. It's kind of like just a bit about me, you know? And in the future, I hope to start seeing more people participating in this channel, participating with me, because I don't like monologues. I don't. It just makes me feel some type of way, like I'm talking to you. And I want to know if you're interested. So the way that you show me that you're interested in knowing more about me, you're interested in what I'm talking about, is by talking back to me. And the way you talk back to me is by commenting in the comment section below. So, I will give you my Facebook page, so you can message me on Messenger. I just put this down there. But anyway, y'all gonna have to excuse my silences because I have sorry. There's just, I don't think there's gonna be any way for me to do this video right now without that. I wish I could. I don't know how to edit yet. So if anybody could tell me in the comment section how to go about editing my videos, if I need to download something in particular, let me know what's the best app or whatever to download. I was about to say programs because my mind still thinks old school when it comes to this stuff. We had programs, but yeah, let me know in the comment because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to edit these videos. So if y'all have an issue with that, then that's why. So anyway, here we go. This is something about me. My name is Angel, also known as Ariel. I am 31 years old. My birthday is coming up in like a little over a month. I am a mother. My life isn't and hasn't always been the best. I didn't grow up with the picture perfect life, you say, per se. The love of my life died when I was very young, and that was my grandfather. Ever since he died, I really haven't had what I would be able to connect to as a positive male role model in my life, or any type of positive male influence, other than my baby boy, my son, my prince. That's about it. But yeah, he died when I was not my son, my positive male role model. The love of my life died when I was very young, at a very strange time. That's going to be another story time. But that's going to be a story time. But yeah, so I just wanted to, because, and keep in mind, I hope you pay attention and listen to this, because it's not going to be all positive. Most of it is not going to sound positive. But the reason I'm telling you these things is because I woke up this morning knowing that I have been going through a lot of stress, and it was time for me to, well, yesterday I kind of came back to and was able to figure out a way to alleviate that stress. Um, but I woke up this morning with a message. And also, I was in the process about to have a conversation with my mentor. Um, yeah, my mentor, Lisa Nichols. So we was in the middle of a heart to heart, but I had to put that on pause for a minute because I just really, that's going to be some time. That's going to be take some time to really hear what she has to say. And I want to not forget the message I have for you guys today. So, okay. So my life from day one, from the very beginning, from the process of me coming into this world has been tough. I almost died at birth. My mother could have died bringing me into this world. I thank my mom for giving me the opportunity to be here. And y'all will see in like a month and a half how I show that. I'm gonna try not to get emotional on this. I tend to be a very emotional person. A very emotional soul. But I'm gonna try not to get emotional. I brought the wrong bottle of water over here. Anyway, I had to move because of the lighting, like I said. So I left my bottle of water that I already opened over there and brought the one I didn't open. But oh well. Anyway, it's gonna both get drunk. So like I said, I was born into this world. My birth to this world was a struggle. That will be another story time. A lot of these things that I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about. I'm going to let y'all let me know if y'all are interested in hearing. So we're going to have some Q&As and all of that. So in order for us to have those, you have to participate. So my birth into this world was a struggle. I grew up, for the most part, without my mother because my mother had her own struggle that she was dealing with, and I understood. I understood. I wasn't able to, I didn't understand to the concept of like I had been through it because obviously there was no way, and I didn't want to, but I was wise enough to, this is lesson number 1, take this as a lesson. I was wise enough, and this is for you young people as well. Don't think that you're young and that just gives you a pass to do dumb stuff. I was wise enough at a very young age, as what I would call a baby right now, like my baby's ages, to take what I knew about my mother's situation and make a firm decision in my life that because I saw what that had taken from me, and I was already made aware enough that that decision wasn't even hers. It was the decision of her problem. And basically, her problem was making her decisions for her. And it took my mom from me. And that was very, very hard. And my biggest nightmare in life was for me to grow up, give birth to babies, and for my babies not to have a mom, especially daughters. But I also look at other people's lives that I've known on a personal level, and I've seen the struggles that they go through in life, and their I'm not saying it's an excuse as in that doesn't play a factor. I'm saying it's an excuse as in they're settled in that being justified because of this circumstance. But I see people who I find myself very fortunate when I'm around them, or because of my getting to know them, because they made me aware of my fortune when I see that they grew up, they never lived in a house. They never, like, they was not raised living in their own house. They was raised living in the projects. They was raised around drugs. Even though my life was impacted by drugs, I didn't live around drugs. I went around drug environments, but my parents did make a perfect decision in the communication that they had when it came around to me. They were on the same page. They made sure to be on the same page when it came to my upbringing as far as that. And it was made very clear that that was not okay. It would never be okay. And that would make a complete impact on their ability to co-parent in any bit, in any type of way. And I respect and appreciate that. I love them for that so much. It comes with good and bad, but overall, that was a very awesome decision. But this is what I found myself fortunate, because I see that some people weren't. Some people didn't have that, and they were introduced to things at a very young age that they should never have been aware of. They should never have been exposed to, and they're hurt by it, and they grow up feeling like they don't deserve anything but this, because this is all they saw around them. This is all they saw in their life. And so even when opportunity is banging at their door, trying to knock their doors down, they are fighting any opportunity that presents itself in front of them, because they deep down inside, they don't feel like they deserve it. Even the concept of somebody telling them that you deserve better makes them cry. So this is for you guys. I know that those aren't the only ones, the ones that I personally encountered face to face. So this is for you guys. You are beautiful. As long as you choose to be beautiful. Because beauty is not only skin deep. Actually, beauty isn't skin deep at all. Not what I perceive as beauty. Because to me, beauty is not this. This is not you. I've had this conversation with my daughter. When all of this that you see is gone, like let me say when all of this is gone, because we may not believe the same things on that, but I will say, and this is fact, if any piece or part of what you see was taken away and the rest stayed, you would still be here. You would still be able to survive, and you would still be you, unless you choose to be something different. Because the only human being that can make that decision for you, that can determine who you're going to be, is you. Now, let's get back to it. I grew up in a very tough situation. People that grew up with their mom and their dad, that wasn't my life. Girls that grew up with this amazing relationship with their father, learning love and learning what it felt like to be a princess, and to understand what it felt like to be valued all of that, that wasn't my life. Um, no, it wasn't my life. I was fortunate to have a sister who tried to balance the missing pieces out for me. I appreciated her a lot, but I wasn't able to come to fully appreciate and understand how much that meant to my life and my remaining alive until I reached adulthood. And until essentially at some point I kind of lost it for a while. So yeah, my life has been a struggle. I grew up in a very tough situation, but at the same time I grew up in a house. I grew up in kind of like the hood, but not the projects. I grew up with addiction as a part of that played a role in my life, but I wasn't brought up like living that lifestyle. I wasn't brought up around that lifestyle like this is life. I was brought up around people who didn't have much. I wasn't brought up around people who didn't have anything. I didn't know what it was like to not have anything. I don't think I even thought about the possibility of not having anything until I got grown and I found out that it was possible to not have anything and what it felt like, and it hurts. I grew up and I became grown. I was tired of what I was handed, the life I was handed when I was little, and I made a decision that I was going to move out on my own and be independent. And I had it all planned out, but the problem is the reason that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to is because I did not do what I said I was going to do. And what I said I was going to do is I was going to get a job early. Young people, start while you're young. Do not, and I told my daughter the same thing, do not think that you're going to wait until you get grown to start taking steps towards who you want to be and think it's going to just flow easily for you. It is going to be the worst struggle of your life if you don't listen to me now, because I'm telling you from experience. Whatever is holding you back, whatever you feel like is why you so-called can't, take that can't out of your vocabulary. Because right now you are at a prime opportunity. I don't care how young you are. If you're able to walk, talk, think, like rationalize, make any type of rational thought processes. If you have dreams and goals, if you're able to think about your dreams and goals of the future, then you're old enough to make steps towards it. Don't let anybody tell you anything differently. If your parents aren't alone, show your parents this video, because I am a walking example of what can happen if you don't do that. If you continue to listen to this story, to this channel, if you follow along, like and subscribe below, please do. But not just for me, but because I want this channel to impact people's lives. Don't make the same mistakes. I was able to make a lot of the decisions in my life today because of the fact that I was able to look at the decisions that other people around me or who were a part of my life from a distance or from close up. I was able to look at the decisions they made in their life and the results that came from that, and I was able to make a decision for myself. Is that what I wanted for my life? And I learned from their mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes I made. If you want something, go for it now. Even if you have to take baby steps, it's not like you're going to just jump over a mountain in one step and it's just going to happen like that. It doesn't work like that. Take steps now. Start reading books about the life you want to live. Start y'all have YouTube now. I didn't have internet and YouTube and all of this stuff like this growing up. I didn't have cell phones. I didn't have all of this technology stuff. We didn't have none of this. We were just, the computer system was just coming around when I was growing up, and we was just like learning the basics of how to use computers and stuff. You know, Microsoft and all of that. Yeah, that was stuff was just coming out. Y'all have such an advantage right now. Y'all have a huge advantage right now. Use it. Go on YouTube and just start typing in stuff around who you want to be, what you want to be like. Type in motivation, you know? Type in inspiration. Over the years, I've had several mentors, and some I've outgrown. I won't say outgrown, but not outgrown. I say I outgrown them because I already comprehended. I've already gotten to the point I already comprehended where they were coming from, and it got to a point where I wasn't hearing anything new from them anymore. So I moved on to somebody else. I listened to, and when I say mentor doesn't always mean somebody right there by your side or somebody who is really like gonna sit in to take the time out or have the time to take out to sit in the room with you or sit on the phone with you and have a one-on-one conversation. They may not even know you. But because the advantage is there now, the internet is there now, you can have mentors with or without them even knowing if they're anybody who's in the public eye, because you can watch them, you can mimic them or whatever, and just start to get answers to a lot of questions on life. But anyway, so I grew up, I made it to adulthood, I moved out, not fully on my own, but I moved out to a situation where where I thought that I was going to be more independent and free, to come to realize I moved in with my mom at first. That didn't quite work out the way I planned, and that can be another. I'm gonna stop saying that's going to be. I'm gonna say that can be, because it depends on you, and if you guys let me know that you want to know about it. But that did not go the way I thought it was gonna go. So that only lasted like the summer, and that was with me kicking and screaming because I was in summer school and I refused to just leave summer school. I was very determined to have my education go the way it should. So I didn't want to leave summer school, but once summer school was over, I moved out of my mom's house with my sister. And that also didn't go as planned, because I still wasn't free. In my mind, I should have been, because I was 18, which technically you're an adult. But we weren't on the same page with that, and I wasn't cool with what she thought it was. So I ended up dealing with homelessness. That was when my bouts with homelessness began. And then I ended up meeting men, and I lost my virginity. I lost control of my life. Well, I can't say I lost control of my life. I lost the control of my life that I thought that I was going to have. I lost the idea of control of my life. Um, and it just became a huge, huge spiral in the downward direction. So, I mean, there were ups. There were some definite ups. I met this guy in a very non-traditional type of circumstance. Definite, if y'all really should let me know y'all want to hear that story, because that's funny but not funny. But how I met my husband. But yeah, I met him. He liked me. Or at least he thought he liked me. Come to find out that maybe it wasn't that he really liked me in that capacity, but he may have been just trying to save me from a situation that he knew that I didn't deserve, and he just took it a little. We just took it a little too far. It was more on his insistency though, because initially I wasn't really with it. My feelings weren't the same as his until later on, when I started seeing that his words was matching up to his actions, and I was like, well, from what I came from to what he's trying to provide for me, or what he is providing for me, why would I say no? And we got married. I had my son. I was already pregnant. I didn't know that I was pregnant, so I found out I was pregnant while I was with him. But I was aware that I probably got pregnant before him, or I could have gotten pregnant when we first, not long after we met, not like when we first met, but not long after we met. And it was just no way of really telling without a paternity test later. And so then we found out that it was before. So I mean, but we had already had that conversation, and he was like, he was going to be there no matter what, and so on and so forth. And I loved and respected him for that. So yeah, we got married. We lost babies. We had to bury a baby at a very young age. We and then I felt bad because this man was doing all of these things for me, and I felt like it was unfair that I was able to give a baby to somebody who wasn't treating me anywhere near the way they should have been, but yet the one who was doing all these things for me, I couldn't make him a father, like by blood. And so I made that decision to make that sacrifice with a lot of fear in my heart, a lot of fear. But I chose to make that sacrifice because that's what I wanted to do for him. And we had my oldest baby, my butterfly princess, which, oh, go check out her channel. Her name is Shania Love. I will put a link in the description below if I can figure out how to, because what I'm going to have to do is go to her channel and find a video and see if I can come back. As a matter of fact, before I even begin to upload this, I'm going to go and get the link to one of her videos, and I'm going to link it in the description below. Go check her out. That is my baby. But yeah, she was definitely a gift, because I didn't know if she would be able to make it, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to deal with the trauma if she didn't. But I made that sacrifice because I wanted to give him a baby, because I felt like he deserved it. I felt like he deserved to be a father. So that was what I was going to do for him, and that is what I did for him. Our marriage didn't work out. It did go south. Again, that will be another story, because I just don't have time to tell all of that. But anyway, that went south. I lost everything, and I had to find a way. I had to make a way. not even find a way, because the way just didn't even seem to exist. So I had to take the scraps and pieces that I could find on the side of the road that I didn't even have for myself, but whatever scraps and pieces I could reach out and find, because I was determined that this wasn't going to be it. And I found those scraps and I put them together, and I made possibilities for myself. So I say all of this to say, because this video is gonna not last much longer. This is probably about the longest video that I have on my channel so far, but I say all of this to say, I've had people ask or tell me they don't know how I'm still alive. I'm alive because my mother once gave me a phrase, and she said that, baby, you're like me. We're like dogs. When a dog gets afraid or attacked, they have two choices. They can either back themselves up into a corner and cry and whimper, or they come out fighting. And we're not the ones to back in the corner and cry. I may cry for a bit. Y'all may see that sometimes. But trust and believe, at the end of the day, I'm the fighter. I fight for what I believe in, and I fight for my life whenever I need to. Maybe not always as often as I need to, but at the end of the day, I don't give up. And the other thing I want to say is, that is why I will never fail. I will never fail. I can never fail, because I never quit. And you need to start realizing the same thing about yourself. The only way you can fail is if you quit. Because until you quit, the story's not over. Until you either quit or you're dead. If you still have breath in your body, then you still have life to live. And if you still have life to live, you still have choices to make. And if you still have choices to make, you still have a chance. So don't fail. Failure is your choice. Winning is your choice. And I choose to win. Choose to win with me. Anyway, I just wanted to share a piece of myself with you guys today. I wanted not to share it because of me, because honestly, I don't like people seeing the negative aspects of what my life has been. I don't like people seeing any negative aspect of me. But at the same time, my life has been my lesson, and I personally do feel like I was allowed to go through the things I went through so that it can help somebody else to not have to go through it. And as painful as that has been sometimes, I take that as my responsibility. With or without the agreeing of a lot of people that I love, and I've lost a lot of people, a lot of relationships because of that, because they don't agree with that. But that's my sword I have to bear, and that's just what it is. So I pray that you guys will take and actually listen to this video. If you are still listening to this video, I thank you so much. I really greatly and sincerely appreciate you. I value you. I love you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart and the pit of my soul. I hope that you have liked and subscribed to this channel. Hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I post more updates, because there will be more information and more jewels to come. Again, I share this stuff not for myself, because I would rather keep it to myself and forget about it and bury it and just let it be done and dead. But I know that that would not be fair. That would be very selfish of me, so I cannot do that. Because I know that there's some of you that you're out there, and I know that you need it, and I pray that some of you, I know for a fact that some of you may feel like that you've reached the end of your road, and I pray that this video will help you see that you haven't, and that you can do more if you choose. If you choose, you will. And if you reach out to me, if you communicate with me, you stay in touch with me one way or another, I will find a way to help you to do that. So anyway, as I always sign out, stay up, stay loved. I love you guys.